Well, I'm switching over. I'm undeafening the audio. I'm gonna have to fix that animation later, aren't I?
Probably.
The it was just static. The starting soon screen. I'm very unhappy about that.
You are the big sad.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's get started with Of the Devil. This game is a work of fiction.
As far as we know.
Yeah.
No, it actually is probably a work of fiction.
Alright, I only have one save file here in high roller mode. So let's get right into it.
Did you get that?
Oh my god.
Oh, you're trying to get that phone charm. I don't know if you got it yet.
No, I have to finish this case.
Also,
Right.
I just had a
Noble
thought.
Employee Housing Building, Platia.
What thought is that,
Lobby?
Avis?
The thought was, the story may be a work of fiction, but the lesbian vibes aren't.
Oh, Neri, aren't we like supposed to do intros?
Oh, yeah. Here with Avis and LRB.
What's up?
Wow.
Yep.
The Varn cannot join us right now, for he
Yeah.
is likely at job.
Avis,
He's
are you
slightly
still
away.
voicing Jess?
Yeah, sure. The Edward, right?
Go for it. Sorry, I also have a bit of a
Bless you.
cough.
Oh, no, that's fine. And I thought there were lots of police here before. Maybe too late to ask, but you're not bad with crowds, are you, Morgan?
She's kidding, right? It's downright airy in here compared to what we just waded through. Wide eyes and clenched fists, heads peeking over shoulders and around signs. Police, both mechanical and warm-blooded, closing ranks with holograms and quick-set wires to draw a severe perimeter. While protesters, mourners, fanatics, and busybodies shuffle about at the edges of the police line, the heat of their panicked anxiety washing over. Who the hell were all those people?
Well, there always been people with strong feelings about our products.
Androids step forward into the mob, gently, firmly, unfeelingly parting the human tide. Most of them with official police branding, but a few remotely deputized consumer models emerge from the crowd to join them. All of them built by Noble. All of them built from David's code. All of them standing vigil outside his tomb. This is all technically company property, isn't it?
Yeah, David had a penthouse all himself, but every other floor's tenants are Noble employees too.
Not an uncommon arrangement in Uptown. Work at Noble, rent from Noble, wave hello to your Noble neighbor in the morning, and make sure to request a spot in line at the official company crematorium. They don't actually do that last part, but they might as well. I think. Does Noble handle employee funerary arrangements?
Yeah, it's a
Hey,
pretty
Kyle.
standard benefit.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's fine. Yeah, it's a pretty standard benefit actually. It's cheap for them compared to dental.
Dying is cheaper than living. Yep, that's capitalism.
Yeah, but Nobles has always been generous with benefits.
Don't give me the company line.
Work hard and the company will have you set for life.
And after.
Yeah, you get me.
Both the state and noble have gotten themselves entrenched here in the lobby. Security and damage control and PR and liability. Everybody just glad to be working. I'm feeling a little overstimulated. Any chance we can just skip all these checkpoints?
No, absolutely not.
So who do we need permission from? The cops or the company?
My request has went through, so we should have the go-ahead from both at this point. I'm sorry that my advice keeps changing. I can't decide on how I'm gonna deliver the line. We won't need to go near the actual, is it still called a crime scene if it's not technically a crime?
I don't want to think about how many suits Noble's paying to debate that question right this very instant. David's vault is in the penthouse's basement. But we can't get to it from these ground floor elevators. We'll have to ride straight up to the rooftop veranda, walk in his front door, and then head down. If Jess says we can do all that without stumbling across where he died, then...
Okay. So if we just flash my ID at any problem that comes up...
Give me a sec.
Branch.
Including him.
Hey, ladies. Hey, ladies. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we're at capacity at the moment. Let anyone else buy, and we won't be able to maintain, You're that lawyer. Morgan.
You caught me, detective. How long's it been?
Feels like it's been ages, but that's because I'm old.
Oh dear. Not still bitter about our last encounter, I hope?
I'll live.
I don't see the spunky one around. Is she taking a mental health day to preserve that unflappable charm?
Detective Reyes is around. Why? You miss her that bad? You lesbian.
I've had blind pimples that were more endearing.
Do you know each other?
Jess, darling, meet Homicide Detective Quasim London.
It's a pleasure, miss.
Oh, likewise?
Why are you looking at me like that?
As you might have...
A homicide detective.
As you might have guessed, the detective and I are acquainted. Comes with the line of work.
Morgan's being modest, sweetheart. We're practically blood.
Please don't call me sweetheart. Oh, sweetheart, you're like twice my age.
Something wrong, starling?
No, nothing wrong.
But close as we are, I still can't just let her walk in off the street and onto the scene of an ongoing investigation. Even Noble's lawyers had to play by the rules today.
Play by the rules, so there is a game afoot. Interesting.
Yeah, I told you that on purpose just now.
What makes you assume I'm here in a professional capacity?
You're a criminal defense attorney and we're at a crime scene. Call it an old man's intuition.
Old man.
Good detectives don't rely on intuition, though, do they? They rely on evidence.
Ooh.
I don't rely on it. Don't worry. Okay, I'm sorry. Why does he look like Freaky Fred to me? I just need to lean on it every now and then when my back acts up.
Oh, cool.
Jess, do you like daddies?
I have daddy issues, okay?
That explains a lot, actually.
Yeah, my father left and he said he was going to get milk, but he never came back.
Oof. Guy gets a bit of gray in his hair and thinks it's a free pass to act like a goddamn cowboy. Well, I'm afraid your intuition is off this morning, Detective. I'm here on a private matter.
I mean,
The deceased wasn't your client?
No.
To be fair, Morgan.
No, that
To
would
be
have
fair,
been a...
Morgan. Sorry, go on.
No, that would have been a conflict of interest.
To be fair,
Now, what-
Morgan, he does kind of look like Leon Kennedy if Leon Kennedy was aged up.
And blonde.
Oh, Leon Kennedy is blonde. I'm pretty sure.
Conflict of... You two knew each other. I see. In that case, allow me to give you my condolences.
Thank you. But what I could really use is a bit of your help.
You sure rally fast.
Jess?
Right. We have this clearance here, Detective Sir, from legal, which allows us.
That's alright, little lady. I trust you. You can leave the paperwork holstered for now.
Little lady?
We aren't here for
Oh.
David, really. We won't be setting foot anywhere near your staging area, Detective.
Alright, why not?
How generous.
I can afford to be generous today, because if I screw up...
He gestures to the lobby full of suits and cops.
Plenty of folks in hand ready to pick up the slack.
Well, if you're that at ease, perhaps I can take the time to ask you a few questions.
You can always ask, Tiger.
Please stop with the diminutive nicknames.
But I think you understand what I mean when I say whether or not I can answer is not entirely up to me.
Oh, Nary. Eyebrows are twitching. They're going up and down. Almost separately.
Are they?
Nah, I'm just teasing you. They were earlier though, but I thought
I got
mention it
really
because it's funny.
slidey eyebrows. I've been checking
Yes.
my phone, but the only thing that the news seems to agree on is that David passed away.
Sorry, but if you're asking for details...
No, thank you. For not letting them make this into a parade. Yet.
We do our best to respect the privacy of anyone involved with an ongoing investigation.
He declined to say victim. Detective, Dr. Asher was a close friend of mine for many years.
Yeah, he trusted Morgan more than anyone.
Can you tell me if he killed himself?
Looks like that is the case. It also looks like your little friend is eye-fucking.
I see. Thank you
What
for
do you
telling
mean? I'm clearly angry.
Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, you're, sorry.
Another round of guarded words. David was an important man, and it has only been a few hours. But all this tiptoeing gives me the feeling that whatever happened to David, wasn't cut and dry. Nope, I should, just downsize you guys a little bit more so that they can see the text.
Ah, I'm shrinking! Wait,
Or, ooh, wait, I know what I can do. Put you guys in this corner right here.
We're being shrinked. Oh no, I guess I get out. No,
No, I just moved you guys to the other side of the screen so you don't block the text window.
Still, I think it's kind of impressive of how high pitched I could go.
Oh no! I'd be able to go even higher pitched if I didn't have a cold. You're looking a bit haggard. How long have you been here anyway?
since this morning. But civilized folk don't call it morning when the streetlights are still on.
That's stupid.
That is
That's really
stupid.
stupid. Like, okay,
Even
okay.
if he got here around 1 or 2 in the morning, that still means homicide wasn't brought in until hours after Noble had the lay of the land. Sounds like you could use a break.
I could use a retirement package. Hey, you're a lawyer, right?
According to all my business cards.
Think I can sue for elder abuse?
Wrong lawyer, unfortunately. Not that kind of lawyer. Sorry.
Damn.
You would lose, though.
I already regret asking.
Why have they got a homicide detective losing sleep over this, anyway?
A man is dead, and he wasn't killed by fire, vehicle, organized criminals, or disinformation that we can prove.
As far as we know.
Also, just to go back to the previous point of street lights and what's considered morning. Honestly, I'd say it depends more on hour, cause like 6-ish, it's like early morning, but that's still morning. And depending on the time of year, the streetlights will still be on though. So, sorry, that was kind of bothering me.
So at the moment, homicide's not technically the worst fit. But we're leading in name only. High-profile death like this, everyone's got an eye on us. And a hand placed firmly on the back of our neck. Without our consent, I might add.
Ew. Well, you need consent for anything like that. David was one of the biggest names in tech. He was the face of Noble Electronics.
Uh-huh.
One could argue androids are only as common as they are because of his contributions to the field.
Some people felt that way, sure.
So do you think anyone would want to hurt him because of that?
Sorry about that, my pug's a bit of a guard dog. Remind me, which one of us
I
is the
think your
detective
police
again?
dog has found something.
Remind me, which one of us is the detective again?
You really won't let me pick your brain?
You already know the answer. Yes, ads are controversial. Androids especially.
We at Noble are aware that our products are sometimes the subject of heated debate, but
Oh, for God's sake, drop the company talk. No need to quote the handbook at us, miss. Truth be told, I've never really understood the hate.
Man, that police dog you have back there sure is, excited about something, or he really doesn't like someone. Maybe it's that holographic ad that's walking around the corner that is as just a light projection, has no scent.
He barks at nothing sometimes.
There's a ghost.
Yeah.
Rather poor police dog if he barks at nothing, isn't he, Detective London?
I somehow got stuck with a pug. Don't ask me how.
Is that pug also a Noble Electronics product, Jess?
Honestly, I would be worried if it was, because that sort of detective product would have been long since put down.
How heartless.
Yeah,
So
well,
you
I
are
work
not,
for
so
Fortune 500
Noble is
company,
not in the
so
business of android pets?
only the very obedient ones.
It's not that complicated, is it? How many people have lost a job to an ad at least once in their career?
Every last one of them lost their jobs because their bosses, their flesh and blood bosses, fired them.
Oh wow, it's like immigrants all over again.
Legally, I'm not allowed to agree with that on record, but you're right. Oh, one moment.
He has to muzzle the android dog.
I'll actually be back as soon as I can. I have a previous engagement.
All right. Would you
That I
like me
forgot
to
about.
read Detective London's lines for you?
Yes.
Nah, ads are just a symptom. Scratch that. Ads are just a product. Getting mad at them is pointless. And vandalizing them is less than pointless because, unlike us, they're all insured.
And besides, Android production has surged over the last decade because become one of the nation's biggest exports.
True. Nice to have at least one thing we make in this country.
Oh, that's right. Noble Lovely outsources the production of a small handful of internal components. Every other part of the manufacturing process is probably done right here at home. Chicago.
I somehow doubt everyone considers the specifics of Noble's supply chain to be a point of national pride. But you don't need a political science degree to see how much the state values Noble's contributions to the national economy. You boys in Noble all getting along with each other. You boys in Noble all getting along with each other, sharing your toys. Some of the
Especially the sex ones.
Some of the younger ones are bristling.
Oh my god, that timing.
Yeah. But I always play well with others, counselor.
Oh my
And
god.
how well do
timing.
That timing was golden, yeah. And how well do the Megs play with you? They give you full access to the building's security? They've given us access, and they say it's full. Some big penumbra system. Top of the line coverage, top to bottom of the building. The size of the data stream is torrential. It'll be a while before we can start making sense of it all. A more conspiratorial man might think that was intentional. Bury us in data and hope we're too swamped to find whatever they're trying to hide.
Wait, they gave you full access to that penumbra? But that means every android in the building is feeding you the full spectrum.
You know your stuff. The penumbra pulls data from any androids connected to a building's net. But that's not much help since there weren't any androids in the penthouse.
Right.
You know, I'd heard the rumors. Never put much stock in them, but it's true. Asher never really owned a single android.
Never.
Well, I suppose I might do the same if I was the genius who programmed them all. Every time they opened their mouths, it'd just be his own lip service refracted 1,000 times over, echoing back at him from behind a mask he carved.
So that means all you'll have to investigate are the penthouse's security cameras.
Yeah, but that should be more than enough to wrap up a case like this. In a good way, I mean. We're very much on top of this, ladies. All right. Now listen, I don't mind being helpful, and I am trying to be sensitive here. But we really do have a lot of it on our hands at the moment. So I'm gonna have to ask you to be discreet, and ideally, fast.
Well, our business is just in the basement. David's basement.
But the penthouse is on the top floor, the roof, so its basement would be second to last floor, if you want to be technical, detective. The point is,
We don't need to go into the kitchen or the parlor. We'll go straight back to his workshop and then head downstairs.
the kitchen and the parlor. I understand. But all the same, I'd like to escort you two ladies there myself. Wow, an escort like royalty. Isn't he a gentleman?
Huh? Well, yes, he's,
Lead the way, detective. True to his word, London ushered us past the chattering suits and humming drones, through the checkpoints and into the elevator. As it climbed into the sky, we got a good look at the growing throngs of people gathered outside, and its shifting makeup. Seems like it's mostly protesters now, or worse, brand loyalists. Idiots led around by the nose their whole life, following the musk of whatever trend is laid out before them each morning. Today's trail having led them here, for half reasons that they couldn't put into words even if their lives depended on it. They're like insects. And they look like them from up here. They're probably already preparing their spin. The Misunderstood Genius of Dr. David Asher, a video essay in 5 parts. Why the company insisted on cultivating such a following for him, I've never understood. They could have easily pinned his achievements on someone more marketable. Some random photogenic employee or a fashion model with glasses. David wouldn't have minded. He never wanted the attention, the chaos. Maybe it's as simple as bad luck. He just happened to have the right look for the part. A man buried in his work with his eyes fixed ahead. Okay, game?
Oh,
There we go.
that was a. I just spotted the detail. Meg is a derogatory and hateful term.
For megacorporations.
Yeah, so, you know. Oh, oof. Also sensor tools, oof.
Yep.
But yeah, that's quite interesting that London uses that term and it
Yeah.
gives way to his true opinion.
Noble Employee Housing Building. Platea. Penthouse. This is what? His laboratory?
Oh, he called it.
How down to earth. It's messy in here. David was always disorganized. Why a programmer needed to make such a mess just to run tests on computers, I'll never... But as sloppy as he could be, he didn't like it when other people saw it. If he was leaving things like this, he must not have entertained any guests down here in some time. Thanks for all your help, Detective London. Don't mention it. What, you want me to step out? We won't take long. Not lacking for boldness, are you? Look, I have to take a phone call.
We'll be in and out as soon as possible, promise. And what's what Dr. Ash wanted?
Wanted set aside for his foundation. We'll be sure to flag it. Right. At least she's already wearing gloves. If we find a dead body, you'll be our first call.
Morgan, what was that stuff about his foundation?
Dr. Ash.
Charity.
Oh, that's you.
Ash's charity. It's always been managed by an outside group.
You haven't spent a lot of time around crime scenes, have you?
Actually, this is my first.
Well, generally speaking, it's not really common to retrieve things from the premises while the cops are still searching them.
Oh. Oh!
Look, if David has something to give to me, we can go get it. We just can't make a ton of noise about it. Understand?
Of course. I swear to goodness, this is just going to kill me by the end.
Oh, your eyes are the wrong color for that, darling.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Great. After you.
Right. Quiet as a church house.
The phrase is quiet as a church mouse, but...
Myself, I'm okay.
But now doesn't seem like the time to correct her. David's shop was a mess. But the mess felt familiar. It was very... David. Coming down here, I barely recognized the place. For starters, there's a goddamn gym. David hated exercise. Always claimed he didn't have time for it. Even when I got him that treadmill and the subscription for the personal coaching program with the scheduling subroutine, said he couldn't find the time. And even when I explained to him that the program accounted for that and adapted to his schedule, he still...
Morgan, what's up? You look like you're having a mental rant. You're smiling. What's so funny?
Nothing. Just surprised to see the place renovated.
Yeah, he actually had me on Mailtech with a couple of contractors a while back. I thought I'd had to learn so much about concrete and wiring and marble. Do you know that marble needs to be treated or else indoor air will start to corrode it?
I didn't know that. Is it true?
Wait, is it not? But the guy told me that without an epoxy finish, the entire bar table would...
Is that the vault over there, then?
Yeah, stands out, I guess.
Nervous?
What's that? Oh, a little, I guess. The inhaler helps mostly, so...
Aren't you going to open it?
Open it? Don't you know the combination?
Well, this is a problem. No, I do not know the combination to David's basement vault.
Oh, Oh, no, what can I have? He didn't tell you? Give you a code or...
He gave me the code to get into his building, and the parking garage, but not the code to whatever this is. Okay, you know, there were a lot of scattered papers back in his shop. Could he have left you a note on one of them?
Yes, he could have. He would have. In fact, I think he probably did. You just stay right there, Morgan. I'll have this settled in just a second.
Sounds good. Right then. Well, it's definitely locked. Looks like it's a Tethys Basic Sturditure Anti-Hack, Anti-Digital, High-Rated Code Panel. Nothing basic about it, but at least I can see the password's limited to 6 characters. Only 1 million possible combinations. Slim chances, but what the hell, why shouldn't I give it a shot? Nothing's happening. Okay, that was dumb. I don't really want to dwell on why I thought that could work. Forget it. There's a different terminal over here. Cotter Security Systems, according to the label. Maybe it controls the whole room. Damn, it's password protected too, and the code is 64 digits long? What's the point of a camera system that's harder to crack than your literal vault, you egg-headed... Okay, yeah. A programmer probably would care more about his IoT than whatever he can fit in a safety deposit box. Guess it's the 6-digit vault or nothing. But I'm a lawyer, not a lockpick. And whatever other felonies I get up to in my private time, I've never pulled off a bank heist before. Only tool I've got here is my head. So what do I know? I know whatever David put in his safe, he wanted it kept secure. And I also know that he wanted me to have it. So maybe he thought ahead. Maybe he guarded it in such a way that I would be the only one who could get to it. David liked games, and he really liked beating me. So if he's left one last puzzle for me, I don't mind going another round. Taking a closer look, this is a pretty serious set of resistance training equipment. And these weights, they're all set near the max. If Noble hadn't appointed him a nutritionist along with his stylist, David would be downright scrawny. There's no way he was putting up these numbers. In which case, the digits on the weights could be a clue. But there's too many, and I can't guess the order. So what the hell, Asher? Did you just set all the weights to maxed because it looked more neat?
Is he a pot noodle type guy? I think he may be.
He was very much a instant noodle type guy. This must be his sparse liquor cabinet. Damn, there's a lot of good stuff in here, and a lot of bottom shelf swill. The kind of bargain bin vodka and nose burner whiskey that only an undergrad programmer could love. Nostalgia's sweet like that, overpowering. 1 part per million can cover up even the cheapest aftertaste. David's wine collection, still towering over the room. Don't know why he'd buy so many bottles. He didn't even particularly like the stuff. Maybe just to fill out all these shelves. But not all the bottles are untouched. Some of them don't have dust on them at all. There's a mechanism for retrieving... Oh, I think we only have NyQuil. I'm sorry. Do you want me to... There's a mechanism for retrieving bottles off the rack. The latest bottle chosen was... a Murder Camp 81. Could be significant, except vintages only list the year they were bottled, not the month or day. It's not enough digits for the code. Thank you, Neurospecs! Oh, cracked floor. This flooring's a new addition. Looks rough like sandpaper, but it's bouncy, rubberized. Feels like something you'd drag your feet on at the gym, or on a factory floor. It's more high performance than high class. Expensive, but not in the way you'd expect for a penthouse. Well, scratch that. It's actually cracked here. Rubber doesn't break. It bends. That's its thing. So someone must have cheaped out during the installation, left a defect in. That, or David left a jackhammer on overnight.
Oh no.
I think I see where this is going. So
What?
David, I'm gonna call it right now. So about that thing about David Asher not owning any androids, the weights, the cracked floor. It's a very big painting. And it's, impressionist? No, cubicle. Cubist, which is still incorrect. Yeah, cubicle. That sounds right. It is not. Whatever its style.
It's definitely not.
I do remember that David liked this painting. If there was a date on it, that could be a 6-digit password, but I don't see one anywhere. Maybe signing your work was considered gauche amongst the cubicalists.
It's not cubic. It's not.
It's abstract,
It looks
isn't it?
surreal. Yeah, it's abstract. I'm pretty sure it's either surreal or abstract, and it's not impressionist. But impressionist is like
Monet and shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's Monet.
But yeah, it's saying that
Morgan,
I mean,
what
they
the
even
fuck?
had those annotations being like, nope, it is not. Morgan just doesn't know much about art.
Like, the point of cubism is the fact that it's all
Time to
sharp
make or
angles
break.
and squares. Sorry, the former art student in me is actually having a mental breakdown of it being called cubism. I hope you've been,
I
hope you've
can't
been
open
enjoying-
my...
Do you want me to look it up?
I just got it.
Okay.
but I don't like doing that for this. Because the clue was in the big blue painting, but it just took me straight to it, so I couldn't look at it. Well, goddamn. Feels like I just got lucky. Hope I didn't spend all my good fortune for the rest of the month. I got an achievement for that, so here's the thing. Under search terms, yeah, that was the clue, but because it just took me straight into it, it locked me into Neo-Abstract Expressionist Mads Hairstorp. $11.25.58. Yeah, so that would have been the answer, but I got locked into having to guess. And by guess, I mean look up the guide, which I don't want to do too often.
Yeah. Hey, Morgan, how did you get that to open? That's... What is that?
I turned back around just in time to see a door finish swinging open with mechanical grace, revealing a girl with a barcode emblazoned across her temple, required by law to be plainly visible. It's an android, clearly marked as such. And yet, even standing this close, I could swear it's...
Snoring?
Me. I step forward and place the back of my wrists on the android's brow. Hey, who just joined?
I see it.
Hi, the rat.
Hi, Isia.
Hello.
Welcome.
What are you playing?
Warm.
What's the devil? It's, must be a prototype for the Animate 16. Or maybe a prototype for the 17? Or 18?
A biomechanical android with real human flesh.
Sorry, biomechanical, yes, but it's organic flesh, not human.
Oh, we just lost Isia. I was gonna ask him if they wanted to voice act.
They've grown from Max Gemini culture, but the...
Sorry, I misspoke.
Right, understandable sense.
You seem surprised, Jess. Hasn't Noble been working on warm androids like this one for a few years now?
Androids like this one? I mean, yes. Sorry, it's that this particular model is very, it's very cutting edge.
Bleeding edge, judging by the flush in those cheeks. I think it's safe to say that we've found what we're looking for.
I think so too.
That presents a problem, then.
Oh, do you not, approve?
I've got nothing against androids. My concern is a bit more immediate and, well, practical.
Practical? Oh, please.
I don't know how to turn it on.
Oh. Do you see a switch or something?
Do you?
Can we, turn it around, or...?
I poke the android's ribs. A little less give than I expected, given its frame, but the rigidity is remarkably lifelike. I place my hand on the shoulder and give it a shake, but it doesn't budge. This thing has to weigh more than...
Right. Androids mostly transport themselves, so people always report to find out that they're a bit heavier than they look.
I think I know who the weights were for. A bit? I'm surprised the whole room isn't slanted. there's no way in hell we're moving this thing without waking it up.
Crap. Best of both now this.
I was able to guess the combination just by poking around. Compared to that, finding this hunk of junk's power switch should be child's play. And I think I know where to start. Jess, I'm going to step back into the lab for a moment. Is that all right?
Oh dear. Oh, sure, sorry. Call kinda lagged. There's got to be a manual around here somewhere.
Good idea. It might be some kind of prototype, but it's still got a barcode. Maybe you can scan its GIN number and find something in the company files.
Yeah, of course. All genetic ID numbers should be paired with industry standard files on maintenance, tracking, power requirements.
Generic ID.
Generic.
I somehow doubt that the enigmatic android taking a cat nap in a sarcophagus in David Asher's basement will have a user manual. But it can't hurt for her to try and...
Okay, healed, but I'm okay. I carry glue.
And I'd rather search the lab by myself.
Hey, that's mean.
Now then. If I were David, and I wanted to make sure that only one person would be able to walk out of here with that android, how would I set that up? Haven't seen one since college, but this must be a 3D printer of some sort. Feels expensive enough to make other printers feel like soda fountains by comparison. Better not mess with any of the settings. Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hi, Kosetsu.
Hydroids.
Would you like to do some voice acting with us when we get you a character?
Perhaps.
Looks like
Perhaps
looks like a fairly normal computer. If I'm lucky, the security will be fairly normal as well. Who wants to voice the computer?
Computer.
Boot up complete. Username.
Vocal commands? David Asher? Morgan? Guest?
Thank you for logging in as guest.
It didn't recognize my voice. So I can probably rule out a vocal command being the key to waking the android.
Do you have a question?
More than one. For now, though, what should I search for on his computer?
Browser history.
Do a bro a favor and delete this browser history.
Super Earth is under attack.
Morgan.
Search, you want Morgan?
I'd say so. Because he wanted to leave it with Morgan, right? So.
Search files for Morgan.
23 results on local drive.
I can work with that. Mostly phone book and social data, but I don't recognize this file type. Some kind of personal format. Date of birth, education, occupation, blood type, height, and weight? All right, buddy, little invasive, don't you think? DNA and fingerprints. Now, why do you have that, David? My DNA isn't in any database. I've made sure of that. So he couldn't have bought this anywhere. He must have collected it from a wine glass or the like. It would have been easy to do. Why do it?
because that's the key to waking up the android.
Oh my
Verification.
god, do I have to is this gonna be a sleeping beauty situation? Do I have to kiss her?
Or you could just like do the I liked it, so now it's mine.
These appear to be holding tanks for something. How should I know? No labels on anything. Typical for a genius, but a nightmare for anyone trying to pick up after him. It's a lot more hard science than I expected in here. Centrifuges and glass and microscopes. Don't programmers do all their work with a keyboard?
No.
Diagrams of human anatomy. The hands are highlighted. The most
Okay,
developed
that's
part of the human body, good for making stone axes and sending emails.
An absolute pain to draw though.
Robots and frames can do just fine with claws or 3-digit imitations, but androids are expected to look like people and move like them too. Getting the hands right must have been a big priority at Noble. That tree-like shape on the right is a neuron. Those branches receive input of varying weight, and then if the sum is greater than a certain threshold, the neuron fires. A 0 becomes a 1, and all other zeros around it take that into consideration. Repeat that a couple billion times a second, and you've got the human brain, a computer powerful enough to simulate all of reality. That's the analogy I read in a magazine, anyway. Alright. I'm starting to get a pretty clear picture of what it'll take to turn on this android. I've got the what. For the where and how, I'll just have to manage. It's still just a piece of machinery. If it really won't turn on, I can always start hitting it.
Okay, there you are. Also, in every registry I could find and every database I could get into, but I don't think this android is in the system.
I'm gonna turn up your voice, Avis.
I'm
Unless-
very quiet.
Yeah. It was a long shot. Don't beat yourself up over it.
I mean, I know you're
It's
a
go-
long
I'm-
shot, but
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a sleeping beauty situation. Like, why connect my DNA code? Why collect my saliva? Oh, sorry.
Are you
Protocol
skipping
activation.
the line?
Epsilon.
It's only buying or selling an android without a proper identification that's illegal. And it doesn't seem like he ordered this online.
I guess you're right, huh?
We'll have it registered soon enough anyway. I think I've figured out what we need to do here.
Oh?
If David really wanted me to have this, he would have left some way for me. He would have left some way for me to turn it on. David had my fingerprints and my DNA on file. By requiring both, he could be reasonably sure that no one was powering up this android without my approval. You've done a swab before, haven't you?
Every month for the company. Apparently they're building a database for on employee epigenetics cross-reference to us. Oh, so you're gonna...
My DNA and my fingerprints make the key. Now, where to find the lock? I think I know the correct answer. Sleeping Beauty. The lips are one of the most sensitive parts of the body. Not the worst place to make a scan, even if it is gross placing my finger there.
Oh, that's... Still not doing it, huh?
Come on, do I really need to push my finger deeper, jiggle the key?
Oh man, you went right in there. Are you touching the tongue?
It's blinking at me. Come on.
Oh, should I? Or do you wanna?
Either way.
Like you are doing a lot of voices with Morgan and London at the moment, so maybe I should do Sarah
Sure.
for now. Get Mom in.
Long Beach. Good morning to you, too.
Oh, shit.
Cute. Hello. I've never seen you two before.
Oh my god, I had, like, the perfect voice for this character, but it's fine, it's fine. We could...
What voice?
Hello, I've never seen you two before.
Okay.
Sort of like
Should I-
that. How did
Okay,
that
I'll try my
sound?
best.
What?
Yeah, that sounded good. I'll try my best. Go on.
I guess we should introduce ourselves, then.
Hi.
This
This is just Sukkot's...
That's
oh, sorry.
me. This is Jessica
Yeah.
Starling. She works for Dr. Asher. I'm Morgan, a friend of his. Got all that?
I understand. She's Jessica Starling, and you are Morgan, last name unknown?
No, Morgan is my last...
Father told me about you. Aw, he did. Wait. Father?
David? You had it called you Daddy?
I am referring to Dr. David Asher. Are you confused?
That's not the word I'd use. I'll throw a bone beyond the grave for the good doctor and just move this along. Did David say that he was giving you to me, transferring ownership?
Ownership? Oh, look at her hands.
Oh my god! That's so cute.
That is correct.
And what else did?
Mostly correct.
Right. And what else did he tell you?
Many things. Can you specify?
I thought conversation was the first thing David figured out how to program.
Did Dr. Asher tell you anything he was due to convey to Morgan? A message he was supposed to pass on? Yes.
I love this girl. She's like my Lancer Blorbo, just found in a box.
Box moment.
Jess, I think it's trying to...
Oh, okay. Sure. I'll give you two. I'll give you some privacy, Morgan. I've actually gotten around 40 messages in the last 2 minutes, so...
So I gotta say, I thought she would kiss the android on the lips, but no, she just stuck her tongue in there. She just stuck her finger in its mouth, which is somehow even kinkier. I thought it would be a Sleeping Beauty situation, but no, just shove your finger down her throat.
Oh my god, you know what it reminds me of?
What?
Chobits. Weirdly. Kind of reminds me of Chobits.
Oh my god.
I'll just head back up to the lab to take up some calls, okay?
Thanks, Jess.
Yes, thank you, Jess. You're welcome.
Just the two of us now. So what do I call you?
My name is Sarah. It's nice to meet you, Morgan.
Trust me, the pleasure's all mine. So, what's the message?
Father told me that I would be living with you from now on. And he told me that you would look after me.
I'm being attacked by a bomber.
Shouldn't
Ooh.
it be the other way around?
should it?
A model this lifelike, with warmth and breadth and something close to blood in its veins. Just what are you, anyway?
You forgot my name already. It's Sarah.
What were you built for? You're warm, obviously. You're not one of those physical therapy models, are you?
That would be highly illegal. I haven't completed 500 hours of study at the state-approved massage therapy school. I haven't even completed 1 hour.
What purpose did Dr. David Asher design you for?
I don't know the answer to that question.
You don't know why he built you.
No? Should I? I mean, why would you build a human child?
How can you not?
Do you?
Would I be asking you if I did?
I mean, do you know why you were created? Why you were born?
Why? Why me? Why would you? Why are you doing this? You're a freak! A monster! What the hell's wrong with you? Please don't kill me! Please! Why? Why? Why was a monster like you even born? Guess I walked into that one. I was starting to wonder if you even had the Turing solution.
This framework for programming linguistics and artificial systems. And the body of work for which he first gained international recognition.
Yeah, and international jello.
Do you have an answer for my question? An answer as to why you were created? Why you exist?
Occam's razor. I'm here because my parents wanted me.
I see. And I will give a similar answer. I was created because Baba wanted to make me.
There's also another character, Avis. If you've seen the judge in this game, I think you might enjoy voicing the judge too, but that might require you to get a little bombastic.
Oh, you say that to the former musical theatre nerd
Yeah.
actor.
Can't argue with that logic. Baba said that you were a lawyer.
Yeah, that's me.
You're a lawyer, and I defeated you with logic.
World-class high-power attorney. The best defense money can buy.
So do you catch criminals?
That's what cops do.
Do you litigate criminals?
That's what prosecutors do.
Then do you fight the underrepresented? Expose injustice? Sue corrupt corporations and officials?
I don't think anyone does that anymore.
Then what do you do? You sound kind of lame.
I'm a criminal defense attorney.
A defender of the innocent and powerless.
Look, she's drooling a little with stars in her eyes.
Oh my god, she's the Maya Fey of this game!
She is! Uh-huh.
Do you also...
Now that you know all about me, what can you tell me about yourself?
I never had to do that before.
First time for everything. How old are you?
I'm sure I can give a satisfactory answer.
0 for 2 on answering simple questions. What's the date on your earliest memory?
2 years ago.
And where were you constructed, or assembled, or whatever? What facility?
I was not constructed at any facility. Father created me here. By himself.
You're saying if I took you apart, I wouldn't be able to find any makers from any manufacturers, any IDs of any designer.
You want to take me apart?
David was a programmer, not an engineer. How could he build a custom android from scratch in the comfort of his own home? He couldn't have. He must have had help. Probably a whole department's worth. If I ask around, there's gotta be someone in the company who can ID this thing and help me figure out what's so important about it. You're still calling her it. I don't know how I feel about that. You don't look like any android I've ever seen.
Human.
What are you made of?
His body is comprised of organic tissues integrated directly into cybernetic systems.
Oh my god, it's literally just my Lancer character.
They require organic nourishment, including water, carbohydrates, and salt.
Wait, warm androids have to eat and drink? They cannot be worth that much trouble.
My cybernetic systems operate largely as analogs to their equivalents in the human body. I have a respiratory system for oxygen exchange and a centrally located pump that circulates oxidants.
You mean you've got a heart? How quaint. But where does all the extra weight come from?
Pardon?
I tried moving you earlier, and it felt like I was pulling against a truck.
My skeleton is a combination
Oh
of
my god!
medical grade plastics and military grade titanium carbide alloy. I said that too fast and I stumbled over my words. Oops.
It's literally my Lancer character. That
Nanocarbon dooms.
That sure took the wind out of her sails.
My muscles are made of adaptive rare earth alloy nano weave fiber with shock absorption and kinetic chain potential rated past.
Oh yeah, nanocarbon.
Wait, did you say military grade?
I have a grip strength above 1,000 kilograms.
It's literally, this is just Kiana Kendall, my Lancer character.
Kiana.
Yep. Call sign Minx. But this is literally her origin story.
Now I feel bad for stealing your Lancer character to voice.
Yeah.
Don't worry, once I go to bed, you can voice her again.
Yeah.
I can run on sustained speeds of 60 kilometers per hour. I can jump 6 feet vertically. I can lift approximately...
I'm not sure what kind of grip strength most androids are walking around with, but I've never seen any of them move the way it's talking about. Even just standing there, it seems to be poised. Controlled, spring-tight, strength and flexibility, like a ballerina or a gymnast. Strong enough to flip over a tank, lifelike enough to avoid detection.
You're looking at me like a predator!
Why are you looking at me so strangely? As long as it never stepped on a scale, it'd make for the perfect infiltration unit. The perfect weapon, if you could keep its development a secret. Did David really put something that heavy on my plate? dismantling a military prototype in secret?
Are you deep in thought?
But a military infiltration android would look more crew-cut and forgettable. And would David really devote personal time and effort just to make another weapon for the military? Thank you for the lurk, Alice. You're amazing. No, you're amazing. You're amazing, Alice.
I have other features I could tell you about if you like.
If I shot you, would you die?
It would be very painful. And there would be a discharge of fluids, but conventional weapons would not prove particularly effective.
To hide.
Sorry, I was getting head pats from Alice. I'm gonna give you a shout out, Alice. Everybody go follow Alice and Dusty. Support them. Support the girl and her slime. That settles it. This thing's a weapon, sure as I...
Would you like to know more about my hair?
Your hair?
I'm impressed you noticed. Each fiber contains miniaturized solar cell technology, allowing me to recharge throughout the daytime.
That must come in handy.
I've never actually had the chance to use it yet. This room has the ambient wireless charging functionality. And I haven't gone outside much.
Okay, maybe it's not a weapon after all. You're just a pincushion, aren't you?
I'm not familiar with the term.
Searching.
Pincushion, jargon, design. Refers to prototypes filled with experimental technology to check for compatibility issues.
Got an idea? Not sure what to do with it? Stick it in the pincushion. It's as good an explanation as any for what I'm staring at. A mishmash.
Oh my god, look at that. Look at the glowing on her barcode and eyes. That's
Yeah,
such a cool
I noticed
effect.
it. A mishmash of state-of-the-art military features spliced with odd new technologies and seemingly pointless additions. The end result being a singular, unsellable android that wasn't particularly good at anything and would break down after only a few years.
Pincushions are a small but valid part of the field of the android manufacturing. They are valuable to collectors who see them as time capsules filled with their designers' most outlandish ideas and least reproducible results.
But even the most nonsensical pincushions are built via committee over years, with numerous engineers and programmers adding in their pet functions. The android before me claims to have been built by one man. A man who's now... Seems we got off track there, Sarah. Was there anything else David told you to relay to me?
Besides that you were to look after me? He also told me that you were reliable and I should trust you. He said that I was to listen to you and obey your instructions.
Finally, some good news.
As you say, Adonai.
What's that? That word you called me. What was that?
Adonai from classical Hebrew. Translated literally, it means my lord. Do you prefer that I call you master?
Oh, no. No.
Very good. Adonai.
Why did David use Hebrew, though?
The language belongs.
Abrahamic myth tells of servants constructed out of earth and clay, designed to resemble and obey their masters. Golems. Father must have found the comparison appropriate.
Amusing, more likely. It's just a joke.
Father will not make light of such a thing.
Sure he would.
Perhaps we should ask him to clarify his reasoning for himself. Where is Father, by the way? Is he upstairs?
When was the last time you were active?
38 hours ago.
Thursday night, then.
Correct.
Right. David Asher is dead. He died last night. Understand? How?
I said how.
Oh, I didn't hear you. May
May
I?
I see him?
May I?
Okay.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you go for it. See him? No, I won't be able to see him. Funeral's probably not for a few days. Go for it.
He was not sick.
I have returned.
Welcome back, LRB. We found an android in a safe.
In a safe? Or
In a vault, yeah.
They
I don't feel like doing the whole song and dance with 2 robots in one day. That's very charming, but let's go to commands only.
What happened? Did he have an accident?
Why is it still doing the theatrics? Does it not recognize my authority yet? The police have determined that he committed suicide. For the time being, we ought to focus on getting you properly registered. Maybe then you'll take commands the first time I say them and not...
The police were wrong.
Excuse me?
They are wrong. Father did not commit suicide. He would never do such a thing. Father had. He had told me.
Look, Sarah... I'm sorry?
Sorry? Father said that you were his friend. How are you so calm?
I've been around death a lot. So don't try and lecture me about grief, spearmint.
My name is Sarah. You will use it because my father, Dr. Asher, the greatest programmer in the world, gave it to me. And he did not kill himself.
Well, let's say you're right. David didn't commit suicide. If that's the case, the police will realize that soon enough.
The police have already made their determination. That's what you just said. Father said that you are a lawyer, that you are capable and reliable. And a friend. You should be looking into his death.
That's... Is that an order?
Of course not. This is a request. Adonai.
A request that I'll have to refuse. The police have their job, and I have mine. If I stick my nose into their investigation any further, they'll come down on me hard. Cops don't like lawyers on principle. But what they really hate hate are people who tell them how to do their job. Let's go. We need to...
Father asked you to look after me.
Yes, he did. He also said you should obey me, but you don't seem quite as fixated on that part.
And he said something else. He said that you owed him a favor. One favor.
The thin ice starts here, Spearmint. That was between him and me.
Father is gone. So now it's between you and I. And I am calling in the favor now.
What?
You don't have to take care of me anymore. Consider that request null and void. You can sell me to some collector, or you can donate me to a university. It doesn't matter. In exchange, you will prove Father did not kill himself. And you will make sure that whoever hurt him is held accountable. Hmm. Why are you laughing?
It's you and me, not you and I. You and me. David would roll over in his grave if he knew you'd gotten that wrong.
It's not my intention to amuse or rotate.
Get rotated.
No, that's for damn sure. Fine, I'll take that deal, Sarah.
You mean you will prove that Father did not?
I mean, I'll look into it. I'm a lawyer. I don't prove anything. I just disprove what I can.
And where do we start?
I didn't realize you had a law degree.
I do not have a law degree, but I am a fast learner.
This isn't a job interview.
And I am far from useless. I can...
The ad did raise at least one good question. Where do I start? I'm a defense attorney, not a police detective, and David was my friend, not my client. I won't be able to poke around at all unless...
And I'm also capable of...
Can you tell a lie?
I am capable of making statements that are false.
Guess that'll have to do.
Are you going to ask me to lie?
Yes. Also, Avis, you've got a bit of an echo. I don't know if that's coming from
That
you.
No, that would be from... I am sorry, I forgot what your new name is, but
Kasetsu.
Hydrosetsu.
Let me rotate
Yeah.
it now.
I wonder if it kind of
should work.
fits for the androidness of it. But yeah, Kasetsu, could you do like a mic check?
Yeah, it's
Avis is
it's 'cause
getting-
I have my thing
Avis
turned
is
up the whole
getting
way.
picked up through your speakers.
So,
This should be
did you
fixed
like
now.
how I was doing Angry Sarah?
I did quite enjoy your voice for Angry Sarah.
Yay.
You will investigate Father's death and prove that he did not commit suicide, Counselor Morgan. To the police, in fact.
Lying to the police is a felony.
Androids don't commit felonies. They make errors.
Huh.
Hmm.
I see. What kind of error do you have in mind, Adonai?
Is that how that's pronounced? Adonai?
I have no clue.
I don't speak Hebrew, so...
Neither do I.
And July 1st, 2086.
Are you sure about this?
You have questions too, don't you? Right now, I'm just a little better equipped to get answers than you are.
Okay, go for it. I'll make sure they're watching. Is the air quality at Noble Headquarters kept to state standards?
What's that?
All these Noble employees seem to have asthma. Is Father also working under such poor conditions?
Okay, I need, like, some water and a cough drop. Give me a second. I'm sorry.
I see.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. My throat is just killing me right now. They don't have asthma.
And why are they carrying inhalers? Yes, ma'am. She's right over here. Oh! Phew.
So you want to take Jess and Emma? Because then you'd be voicing 3 characters, and I'll do... Oh, you were voicing 4 characters!
Yeah, go ahead. Go be the little android, Sarah. Oh, it's you. Did I mess up?
On the contrary. Eyes wide. She's a DA. Quiet. Shh. She succeeded spectacularly in getting Noble's ears perked up. Emma Rockford! Didn't think I'd run into you here.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be here either. But the powers that be think my presence sends a strong message to the Megs. So... No, wait. What are you doing here?
So here's the thing. With the Meg, I'm noticing that everybody is using Meg. But here's the thing. This is... The search result is saying it's a derogatory and hateful term.
Because they run the search engine.
Yeah.
Ah.
But really, it's just what everybody calls them. It's like how people are saying that TERF is a slur when it's just describing what you are.
Ah. Also, I know it's not much, but the way I try to differentiate Reyes from, say, Emma is I try to do more vocal fry on
Yeah,
Reyes.
I picked that up. A few minutes later.
I don't know how much it's doing, but you know, I'm trying. I see. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you for saying that. And thank you, Detective Reyes, for your many kind words.
We can't all be as talkative as you.
Normally, quoting poetry would feel pretentious, but you were so genuine in your reading.
Like me.
Kinky.
I don't know if there's a need for that.
Very mature, Detective. Did you come up with that yourself?
Oh, no, that's Kaguya's signature pose.
What's up, babe? Like the pop star?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Reyes is secretly a pop fan. Oh my god.
You can admit it if you do.
Well, there's nothing to admit because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who that is.
Edgelord. Edgelord, who's a closet pop idol fan.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Wait, now you're saying you don't know who Kaguya is. She's the most famous.
Yeah, well, I just don't know who that is, so... Ma'am! Weren't you about to say something?
Denial is unattractive, Reyes.
Oh,
Oh,
well...
I disagree. I disagree, Detective London. It's adorable.
Well, I'm
What's
so
up?
surprised to see you here now, Morgan. Are you helping them the services? Actually, the company will be planning Dr. Ash's funeral service. Didn't his family want to take care of that?
No.
Oh. No. I see. Sorry. If that's the case, why are you here, Morgan? Oh gosh, I'm so sorry to disrupt your morning. Hey, that's... You're here for the same reason every other suit they've got crumbling around. Money.
You're not wrong. There are a lot of annoying insects with annoying agendas scurrying around before my friend's body is even cold. But the honest truth is, I don't even know if David had a will.
The company helps him manage his estate. Legal is probably already on it. Actually, judging by how much coffee that Tintin is carrying into the elevator, I'm certain they are. Right, so if you're not here for the funeral or the reading of the will...
Miss Starling asked me to come here, actually, on a matter unrelated to David's passing.
Meow!
Hi, Harrow. It's not time for food yet.
Unrelated matter? That's convenient.
Isn't it? But now that I am here, it's come to my attention that the police have made a determination in the case of David's death.
And where did you hear that?
Hey, Miles, thanks for the crime wave. 30 months. Holy shit. Let me give you a shout out, Miles.
Yeah, Miles.
Isn't that about as long as you've been doing this?
Yep. Subscriber, he's like one of the OGs. He's been here. Am I mistaken?
Oh, you're quite right. They concluded that it was suicide.
Can always count on her to be blunt. I was worried about that.
Yeah, I'm sure you must be feeling.
Because I'm going to have to contest that charge.
What?
Did you just give me a hydrate, Redeem Avis?
Yeah?
The state has made a charge, and I'm arguing against it.
The hell are you talking about?
The police believe David committed suicide. Suicide is a felony in this country, Detective.
It's technically a crime to commit suicide, yes, but we're not in the habit of bringing... we're not in the habits of bringing dead men to trial. I have too many points. I have too many points.
And also make me do exercises.
That
There
is
was no more
true.
machine.
Especially not for their own murder, Morgan.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Oh, did it happen?
Yup, it happened. Give me a sec. I have to move my chair.
I don't have any more bits to spend. I cannot add on to this.
All right. 5 sit-ups. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now I still need that hydrate. I don't have any. Oh, 5 push-ups. Fuck you. Okay. Push-ups are my weakest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm gonna go get your hydrate redeem too.
Oh my. The stork has discovered a toy.
Well, actually, I had before I started this little tirade of it's redeeming, I had 5.8k, so I currently have 4k.
Okay.
Basically,
keep
I just
the
had
show
too many
going.
points.
And yes, I actually looked into the actual legal code of this country. Technically, taking one's own life is considered a felonious offense.
No, not trial, of course not. But there would be a preliminary hearing in a case like this.
Technically, as a formality. Assuming the courts aren't busy that day.
I'm afraid on this occasion I'm going to have to insist on that formality.
Yeah, well, you really don't have much say in the matter, do you?
With David gone, I have the only say, really. I am, after all, his criminal attorney.
All that money, and he needs his drinking buddy to be his attorney. Bullshit. I'm also rather skeptical, Morgan. It's a pretty serious conflict of interest to be your friend's defense attorney.
You're absolutely right. It is a conflict of interest. And I would have said as much to him if I had the chance.
What do you mean?
I only found out that he wanted me to be his attorney today.
After he died, how the hell do you miss that kind of memo?
Embarrassing, isn't it? But to be fair, it was hidden pretty well.
Oh, I did not know you had an Android, Morgan. It's cute.
Thanks, but it's actually David's. And it's technically my witness.
Witness to what?
38 hours ago, that is, David Asher communicated to me, as a matter of record, the following explicit legal intent. That in the case of any and all criminal charges brought against him by the state, his attorney would be Evangeline Morgan.
Oh, so she did know Morgan's name.
I think Morgan told her her full name to, like, sell
No,
it.
I don't think she did.
No, she must have told her off screen, because before she was like, they were conspiring between that fade to black, because just like, Morgan,
true.
what is your last name?
Evangeline.
Passamuse.
What? Wait, seriously? Your name's Evangeline. Did your parents name you after Christmas Carol? You would be curtsying.
Now, Reyes, don't make Morgan expose you for your choking kink.
It's not that funny.
No, of course not. Nothing to be embarrassed about, Evangeline. Oh, do your friends call you Angel?
I hear Kaguya is on tour, Detective. Should I get you tickets? You could have your dad drive you, like all the other 15-year-old...
Hey.
This is Emma.
It feels like we're going off topic. What would we just...
I was telling you that David Asher wanted her to be his criminal defense attorney. Imagine my surprise.
This recording of a verbal expression of intent isn't exactly ironclad, Morgan.
That's fair. And if we were going before an upper-level court, I would expect that to be open to all kinds of scrutiny. But we're talking about a preliminary hearing. A formality, as you called it. If he asks for representation, he deserves representation. Doesn't matter whether he's dead or alive.
I'm missing something. What difference does it make? Not even an adjuvant so it could be abused enough to sentence a dead man.
Adjutant?
Adjutant.
No. There won't be a sentence, but the adjutant will render a verdict. And verdicts have consequences, even for the deceased.
Is that what this is about?
What's she getting at?
If the court agrees that this was suicide, that verdict will retroactively affect evaluations of the individual's mental health.
Like, whether he was in his right mind or not?
You know anything about estate tax law, Detective?
No. Why would I? I'm sure you'd be happy to educate me. Fucking smartass.
More than happy. An
Kill
individual
me.
found by the court to not be of sound mind can't very well give their consent to the lawyer drawing up their will. If his will is compromised, all of David's considerable assets would suddenly be thrown into legal limbo.
The state would be legally obligated to come in and pick up the pieces.
So this is just about his money. I'm almost as disappointed in you, Morgan.
Well, when you take into consideration all the factors, it's actually more complicated than that. For example, Garai.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, I got told to be quiet.
Okay. Likes chewing gum, sports, biking. Dislikes babysitting, audiobooks, and manspreading. Struggles with remembering lyrics. Default status is do not disturb.
Lesbian on 3, 1, 2, 3.
I mean, everybody in this game is a lesbian.
Never mind.
Except
No.
perhaps London.
No, Starling, you should speak your mind.
I mean, London is pretty much a bisexual disaster, so...
He is. Listen. Detective Quasim London is an honorary baby girl.
Yeah, you're right.
Thing is, while Dr. Asher did
have significant holdings in art, real estate, and intellectual property. He also, of course, owned a large deal of stock in numerous corporations, principally Noble.
I'm probably gonna lower your volume again, Avis. Just to...
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
I'm going to be quiet yet again?
No, I had you up at 200, and it was kind of peaking a bit for me on my end.
Oh, sorry.
Not your
If
fault.
it was ruled not sound of mind, his shares were to end up acquired by the government.
You're almost doing more voice acting than me at this point.
Yeah. Noble would suffer a serious blow to its commercial image and its standing in the financial community.
All of which is to say, there's a great deal at stake here. Not the least of which is the reputation of a man whom I was proud to call my friend.
You're not buying this, are you? In case you haven't noticed, the city is working closely with Noble on this. And they're not just gonna let you bring them any unwanted attention.
I should get started on, onlookers. Starling did her part. They're watching, and they've stopped trying to hide it. From here on out, it's a gamble. Noble Electronics already has unwanted attention.
Why are you raising your voice?
If nothing changes, by the end of the day, the whole country's going to hear how David Asher committed suicide. By midnight, there will be questions about his competency, concerns about why the brain inside every single Noble ad was built by an apparently unstable man. The shareholders will have nothing to do all Sunday but brood over that sad thought and all its disturbing implications. By the time the markets reopen on Monday, I would expect a great deal of volatility.
That's so.
LRB,
Sorry about that.
okay. I understand Noble's apprehension.
It's not even me.
I understand Noble's apprehension. No, but it's coming from your mic.
Hi, Zach.
Later.
Earth is Zach.
What's up?
Bye, buddy.
Later.
Later.
Alright.
Okay,
That was my hairdresser. I apologize.
okay. I understand Noble's apprehension, of course, Emma. I just feel like right now the fiscally conservative thing to do would be to not get in my way. Alright, I think I should get to work on making Lexi some tea. I will... This should take a second, though. Alright.
Oh, you've got your reasons, and Noble's got a lot to think about.
LRB, can you, like, mute or something?
I can.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Sorry, just for now. I'll bring it back in when Qasim comes back on screen. It's just, there's a lot of background noise there.
Why should the district's attorney's office the most valuable time playing out this game of yours?
Because they're certain they'll win.
That goes without saying.
Uh, huh.
The course should have an opening at 6 p.m.
I didn't have anything planned.
Then it's date. That's it? Did you get her clearing set up? Yes, ma'am. Updates every hour, yeah? You're out on a limb, Morgan. Better not linger. Clearance for all the relevant site and police firewalls. You can interview and investigate with your authority as an officer of the court now. You bitch. You haven't already been doing that. Don't even think about being sloppy with discovery on this. Roper might think you're funny, but I
appreciate the warning, Detective Reyes. It's nice to know you care.
live to serve. Bitch.
I love how we were both thinking that. And protect. Alright. The tea thing is going off. Let me start steeping it. Hold on. Sorry, 1 sec. I'll be right back. Okay, tea is steeping on the counter for you, babe. Sorry about that. Lexi is not feeling very...
Yeah, no sweat. Are all cops like this? Or are they more like the Detective London gentleman?
Which one do you think I should say?
Up to you.
They're mostly like that, yes.
Are all of that intense?
Yes, it comes from being short.
Ha!
Is it so short? Hey,
Yes.
I take offense to that. I'm short, IRL. I'm not like that.
Well, we're teasing Reyes and calling her a brat.
Oh, right. Well, I'll see you in the courthouse tonight. If you need anything in the meantime, don't be afraid to ask. Good luck. Both of you.
What do we do now? Well, I have a few options.
Should probably be heading to bed, actually.
Good night, Avis.
No,
Yeah. Later,
sorry,
Avis.
I couldn't do more.
You did a lot today. You did like 4 or 5 different character voices, girl. God damn.
Maybe I do have a future in voice acting.
Yeah. I have access to the crime scene now. Probably the
excuse
best
me.
place to start. I'd like to head over to the company building as well. To get me registered? Among other things. Either David killed himself, or he didn't. But if he did, it's almost certainly his asshole corporate overlords who are to blame. In which case, I'll want to take my sweet time raking them over the coals. What are you doing? Nothing. What about Father? When can we see him? He'll be at the morgue by now. The medical examiner will speak to me now that I'm operating under the court's authority. But if I stop to flash paperwork at every nurse and security guard with nothing better to do than ask questions, I'll have to... What's that look for? You were Father's friend. Thank you again for reminding me. Aren't there people you'd like to speak with? Other friends who'd want to know? Bad news travels fast. I'm sure everyone in the country has heard about David by this point. But all that heartbreak shit did keep me pretty occupied these last few weeks, and I was never one to pry. If there was someone who could tell me more about David's personal life over the last several months, it would be worth the effort of finding them. Do you have someone in mind? Maybe someone he met recently? He spoke about coming close with someone this year, a musician. Now that you mention it, there was a PO something that David might have mentioned when we talked back in... I will begin a search. I have completed my search. I found nothing. Thanks for the old college try. Is that really the best you can do? Father was a private man, in person and online. With just a few letters and the fact that he was a musician, I'm afraid that we don't have enough information to narrow down the results, Adonai. No, we have plenty of information. We just need the right person for the job. What kind of person is that? Time/date expunged. Precinct 112. Detainment room 1. And who would you even have called? Oh, who wants to be the kid?
Huh.
Anybody?
I'll take it, I suppose.
Oh, I was gonna do it, but if you want to be the kid, then go for it.
If you want to do it, go ahead.
I feel like you guys aren't doing much, though, so...
I don't know. But I still should have gotten my phone call. Instead, I got you. Who are you again? My latest guardian? New foster parent? Want me to call you mommy?
No. I'm not really the motherly type.
Heyo, we might actually get along.
So I've got good news and bad news. I'm not your guardian. I'm your lawyer. You've been given a lawyer because you're being charged with a felony.
Fascist pigs. Skipping school's a felony now?
Hacking into a government database has been a felony for a very long time.
That wasn't me.
They have your keystrokes, your IP address. I think it's just Miles Lenk. Wait, is it Miles Lenk or Captain Miles Lenk? Oh yeah, your tea's there on the counter, Lexi. Do you need anything else?
Sorry, that's somebody's phone.
They have your keystrokes, your IP address, your login times, and the playlist you were listening to.
That was for a homework assignment.
Oh, you're Captain Miles Lank now. Awesome. It did a name change to show your rank. Awesome. Here's what I don't get. You got in, copied the data, could have gotten right out. State wouldn't even know they'd been robbed until they saw their password show up on black market clearance 2 weeks later. But you didn't get out. You stayed and made changes to their database. You robbed the bank, got clean money, then dragged a can of spray paint behind you all the way home. Why?
Look, I didn't steal anything. That wasn't already compromised, that is. And the only data I edited was my own. So if anything, they should be thanking me for correcting their mistakes.
What, did they get your birthday wrong?
My name.
Name changes are only 2 pages of paperwork. You just need to fill out the form.
And get a signature from a parent or guardian, neither of which I have.
Ah.
So? What's the good news then?
The good news was that I'm your lawyer, not your guardian.
The hell? That didn't count as good news. That's just a thing you said.
Don't be so sure. A lawyer's a lot better than a guardian.
How's that?
Parents, guardians, foster whatevers, they're all supposed to take care of you because it's the right thing to do. A lawyer is someone who always does what's best for you no matter what, because that's how they get paid.
So how good are you at your job?
Hello, mon coeur.
It's pronounced cour.
I know how it's pronounced.
And don't call me that.
When I met Fran in that police station, I couldn't help but bet that I'd landed the jackpot. A valuable asset with a skill set complementary to my own personal and private pursuits. Someone who, after seeing the sweetheart probation deal I managed to land for them, would be more than happy to help me with whatever I need, whenever I need it. Always so cold, Fran. Can't I even get a good morning?
No such thing. Nothing good's ever happened until the afternoon when people are actually awake. Mood.
Yeah. What I got instead was a compulsive liar with a horrific sleep schedule and a crippling addiction to poor time management.
What do you want, Red?
I can't call you up just for fun.
Not if you don't want to get blocked.
I need you to find somebody for me.
Can't do it. I've got homework.
We both know the only time you ever do your own homework is during the class it's due.
And I've got sports.
You can't tell a basketball from a hockey stick.
And I got a bidding war to win.
You're the only person on Earth bidding on 70-year-old Queechy and Air Jodan vintage reps, Fran. I think you
Mary,
can
I
take
believe
your
that said coochie.
Coochie?
I'm not kidding. I believe that's actually what that said.
Oh, God. I think you can take your eyes off the auction block.
So yeah, so sorry, but I'm busy. So...
I was hoping we could skip straight to the carrot portion of the routine, but if you insist on doing things from the top...
Huh?
I had an interesting conversation with your parole officer yesterday.
Oh yeah?
They've been really into the self prefixes lately.
What?
Self-motivation, self-actualization, self-help.
Oh.
And he thinks you could really benefit from it.
You're lying.
He's got all the workbooks ready. Clearly your Saturdays are stacked, so I'll make sure your Sundays are full of...
Fine. I get it.
I need you to find a local musician.
Musician? Knowing you, this'll be Electro Swing or some other awful.
Last name Powell or Parker.
That's all you got?
They'll be in David Asher's circles.
Wait, Asher? You're working that?
That should be more than enough for a clever kid like yourself to go on.
Don't go expecting any miracles.
I need this soon. Within the hour, ideally.
Within the... You know I have other clients, don't you?
Other clients who actually pay you on time. A musician. Find him.
Okay.
Even talking over the phone, you're very animated, Adonai. What do you mean? Just that you're very expressive when you talk to people. Of course I'm expressive. If I wasn't, how would anyone know what I'm thinking? I see. I'll keep that in mind as we... Wait, you really expect to tag along? Oh yeah, sorry, Minos. Of course, Father was... Yeah, I know you want to. But why should I let you? Because I'm capable and helpful. Uh-huh. I mean it. I can take notes for you. And move heavy objects. And I'll learn to do more. How? I will subject every individual we encounter to a basic survey to procure biographical information on them while I gain experience in questioning. Subjecting them to torture. I can help, Adonai.
VV Android.
VV Android?
Yeah.
Very much so. I'm kind of doing a VV-esque voice for her as well. How fast can you fill out forms? Fast. Congratulations. You're halfway to being a paralegal. Huh? You coming? Right away, Adonai. July 1st, 2086. Noble Employee Housing Building, Platia. Penthouse dining room. Yeah, LRB, watch the background noise a little bit. Pretty quiet elevators, huh? Dining room. You could have taken the next one. I have met the cinnamon roll. You know who I was saying she was like, Minos? I was saying she's like Kiana, my Lancer character, because we found her in a box. And she's a robot. Or android. It's a busy building, Detective. Can't hold up everyone else on our account. Anything you'd like to grumble at me before I start? Don't touch anything. I don't care that you're wearing gloves. I have been to crime scenes before, you know. Long before the police get there in many cases. Only less gremlin. Look, Rockford asked me not to get in your way, but that doesn't mean I'm going to bend over for you. Do you at least have the autopsy report? No. Are you seriously? I don't. She doesn't. The report should have come in hours ago. It wouldn't take this long unless the cause of death was still... Then I'd settle for a summary of the preliminary findings. An emergency call was made shortly after 8 p.m. last night via the home security system. Emergency medical services had a VTOL in the air within the minute. They landed on the penthouse's helipad at 8:08. Dr. Asher was found unconscious with low blood pressure and a weak heartbeat. He wasn't breathing. In-flight auto triage administered artificial CPR while in transit to Gatesfield Memorial. He was declared dead a few minutes after being taken to the emergency wing. I see. And the cause of death is? Being investigated. Make an educated guess. He stopped breathing, so they gave him oxygen. His heart stopped pumping, so they had the machines take over. His brain activity dropped to 0, and there wasn't anything else they could do. It was poison, wasn't it? What kind? You don't know, do you? Ah, they don't know either. Like I said, ma'am, we don't have the autopsy report yet. Why are you certain it was poison, Adonai? Couldn't it have been an accidental overdose? If he had overdosed on a commercial drug, even a pre-med student would have spotted it on the hospital's intake screening. They would have been able to pump his stomach, neutralize his bloodstream, and he would have lived. But he didn't live. So it must have been something deadly, a compound designed solely to kill. A fast-acting deadly poison that causes respiratory failure. The list can't be that long. Oh, we have a profile for Sarah now. Likes martial arts, carbonation, and collarbones. Dislikes static, blackouts, and elevators. Talents: I'm good at a lot of things. Skills: I'm not sure how skills differ from talents. I also like the 180 rule.
Collarbones? What the?
I mean, I like kissing collarbones.
Oh.
Even just through process
Fair.
of elimination. The medical examiner should have identified it by now, unless... You suspect a designer drug, don't you, Detective? Huh? Why is it you're only quick on the uptake when it suits you? Nothing else makes sense, given what we know, and what we don't. But the CDCA decriminalized and cataloged all recreational drugs. Guess you aren't entirely clueless about politics. So whatever Father overdosed on should have been in the hospital's database. You need to update your definitions. You're confusing designer drugs with recreational drugs. What is the difference? Recreational drugs are decriminalized and sold through pharmacies after years of testing and mountains of paperwork. While the average designer drug was invented last week in a 19-year-old line cook's bathroom on the other side of the globe. Hospitals can't know the proper countermeasures for an overdose of a drug that didn't exist 48 hours ago. I came across makeshift labs all the time when I was in uniform. The equipment's cheap and widely available. Black market cooks, gray market peddlers, and white-collar lobbyists all chasing each other's tails in a long line to find the next big hit. CDCA didn't change shit. More people die from ODs than ever before. Only difference is it's their families finding them in the living room and not beat cops finding them on street corners. Real comforting, I'm sure. If it wasn't you talking, I'd say that was a criticism of law enforcement. Not law enforcement, just a law. Assuming it was a designer drug, that would certainly make things more complicated. For the insurance guys, maybe. For us, whatever he used it to do, he still killed himself. Or didn't kill himself, if you insist. I'm going to take a look around now. Yeah, sure, make yourself at home. How's my voice I'm doing for Reyes? I don't think it says... Because I haven't been voicing her, I don't think it fits as well as Avis's voice. It's a little too... I mean, I guess she'd be more, like, maybe more up here. But she's kind of got that fuck off attitude to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's that face for? I thought there would be an outline. An outline. Around where they found Father. Like in the movies? Like in film? Connect to the police's network and bring up their ARCS file. Augmented reality crime scene. I see. User portal. Initializing. There is an outline! And so, this is where he died at the hospital. This is just where the medics found him. And it's the sensors and cameras they were wearing that create the basis for this ARCS? They didn't realize they were walking into a crime scene, but their body cams gathered data all the same. Where do we start? You can start by following behind me and trying to be as quiet as possible. I'm starting to get a feel for when she's pouting, even without looking. Says here that when the medics arrived, he was on the floor, face up. Does that tell you something? Hey, if you were going to drink a glass of poison, would you be sitting or standing when you did it? I find it very difficult to speculate on that hypothetical scenario. The seat by his body is pulled out. If he was seated when he lost consciousness, I would expect to find him slumped over on the table. But he wasn't found slumped over. No, he wasn't. And if he had been standing when he lost consciousness, I think he would have fallen forward, or at least collapsed a lot less neatly. So what can you conclude from that, Adonai? Only that I'm missing something. Police androids monitoring the scene. Could almost mistake them for the real thing, the way they stand there trying to look important. Like an indoor dog taking its first trip to the park. Pardon? Why are you looking at it like you've never seen an android before? Because I haven't. In person. David didn't even let you have a mirror? Brutal. Just scan its GIN if you're that curious. Unless that's considered too forward or whatever. I always admired this view. The buildings gleam with the reflections of holograms and sunlight. Their shadows obscure all the run-down, rotting parts of town. Maybe the view's secondary. Maybe all anyone really wants is to put as much distance between them and the street level as possible. Is it possible that a witness could have seen something through these windows? Not through these windows, no. David installed wide-spectrum auto tint in all his homes, all his cars. I didn't know that. Well, you wouldn't notice unless you were viewing the penthouse from more than... Why did he care so much about his windows? One chair knocked over, probably where David was sitting, and one chair pulled out, a party of two. He never cared much for socializing, but he enjoyed hosting. Contradictory guy. A chessboard and a datapad with a series of characters on it. E4, C5, NF3, E6, D4, CXD4, NXD4. This is...
We're playing chess.
A game. Algebraic notation. Was he studying an old game or playing against himself? Black has checkmate in 40 moves. Wow, a robot that's good at chess. We ought to put you in a museum. But I'll take your word for it. What do you mean? Do you not play, Adonai? No, especially not against David. Well, that is to be expected. Anyone who challenged Father to a battle of wits would naturally grow tired of losing. Every game starts the same. Every player has the same pieces, the same moves, the same options. It's a true test of wit, strategy, and forethought. To me, it always seemed too... boring? Too fair. The smarter player wins every time. And that is something you take fault with? Of course. How's a gal like me supposed to win a game like that? She's better at games where she's good at lying, like poker.
Deception.
Poker? I just met her.
Better take a closer look. Rose River Whiskey, 12 years old. You recognize it? Sure, he was more than partial to the brand. It's a good brand, only a bit overpriced, which is the bargain of a lifetime in David's world. It appears that the police have already tested its contents. No foreign matter present was their conclusion. Is it possible that the police missed the poison? No. Even If they can't identify the poison, they can detect its presence by comparing samples of the whiskey to a bottle off the store shelf. So, we can eliminate the possibility that the bottle of whiskey was poisoned. We'll have to find our smoking gun elsewhere. Spilled alcohol. The arc showed how it looked last night before it evaporated. No foreign substances in the puddle. It's clean. So does that mean wherever this spill came from must be clean as well? Two cups. One empty, knocked over, and one mostly empty. These look cheap. Did his guest bring them? So I got whiskey spill, I got whiskey. I've seen them before, in the basement liquor cabinet. He kept these lying around. I knew he regifted those crystal glasses I got him. Arcs say there's nothing foreign in the upright one, so it can't have been poisoned. Results are inconclusive on the other cup, however. Looks bone dry. Must have been nothing but fumes left by the time this was considered a crime scene. Just not enough time for them to test. Inconclusive could mean... Inconclusive means inconclusive. That's all. Cheer up and read me the results of the fingerprinting. Father's prints are on both cups, as expected. But there are someone else's on the upright cup, so someone else must have been with him last night. Slow down. All that proves is that someone else touched the cup. Doesn't tell us when they did it. And since we don't know who the prints belong to... Adonai, why don't we know who the prints belong to? Are the prints flagged as unidentified, or... No. There's space for a name. But the field is black. Shit. Am I already that late to the action? Detective Reyes. Yeah. There's a second set of prints on the cups. Is there a form you'd like me to sign? Doesn't matter how nicely you ask. Sometimes people just can't answer. You should know that damn well, Madam Counselor. I was afraid you'd say that. I don't understand, Adonai. What does this mean? It means that whomever these prints belong to has very proactive representation. Those prints belong to a witness, as you've guessed. You're more than welcome to their testimony. What their identity is... The department is being very considerate of the witness's privacy out of respect for their time and appreciation for their cooperation. Fine, forget the name. That easily? Subpoenas are always an option, but I'm short on time. What did the witness have to say for themselves, Detective? To paraphrase, they came to see Dr. Asher last night. The two of them talked and they had a drink together. Then the doctors got sick, so they activated the emergency system from the panel in the kitchen. The EMTs came and took them both to the hospital. Asher's condition got worse. All of the witness's vitals were normal. The witness had their vitals taken, then there should be a record of their admission at Gatesfield. And that's it. I'm guessing you didn't just take all of that on faith? penumbras set up in most of the rooms on this floor. Everything the witness told us was corroborated by the building's own surveillance system. So yeah, we can guarantee that the witness never put anything into Asher's drink. I'm guessing that I can't have the keys to the penumbra, can I? Not until the witness's lawyers are done reviewing it. Lawyers? Plural. I don't have time to trade jabs with the law offices of Johnson, Johnson, Johnson & Johnson. Say, how about I give you their business card? The law offices of Kochler, Gustave, Prince, and Prince. I was close. No way I'll be getting any client information out of them directly. If all you bloodsuckers want to get together and tear each other apart, text me before you start. I'd like to watch. Yeah, I bet you like to watch. What does that even mean? I don't know. Needed a moment to think. So, that was it. One chat. One peek at the cams and you've already eliminated them as a suspect? Look, they were searched. They didn't have any poison, any drugs, not even a stick of gum. Even if they somehow did have poison on them, the camera footage confirms they had no opportunity to use it. They drank from the same bottle as a dead man. As far as the department's concerned, they were nearly the second victim. But they aren't dead, or even ill, from the sound of things. So you think he poisoned his own cup beforehand, then poured for the both of them from a safe bottle? That's what the evidence is telling us. There's nothing in the bottle or the witness's cup. But after drinking from his cup, a cup he prepared himself, he fell ill, and the witness didn't. And Asher died with a foreign substance in his body. Hey, Issa! An unidentified foreign substance. Suicide by poison. I get that you were close and simple explanations aren't all that satisfying, but that's life. One last thing. You just said he prepared his cup himself. Did you see that on camera? He left the parlor to get the drinks and came back with his already poured. The witness says he got them from the basement. The witness says that? The witness says that, not the cameras. There's no cams in the lab or the basement. That seems like a security hazard. Why would Noble not set things up more carefully? It's intentional. If cams of his lab ever got hacked, outsiders could steal his IP and kick Noble's monopoly to the curb. Right. David did complain about Noble's weird protocols for combating corporate espionage. At least we can take comfort in the fact that... At least we can take comfort in knowing that Father wasn't alone when he died. Yeah, that's worth investigating.
What's in the envelope-looking thing?
The data slate?
Yes.
Password locked, but already cracked by the police, it seems. All the docs were taken. Home safe, nothing spicy. All the docs were take home safe, nothing spicy. When was it last used? 7:48 p.m. Still reading work emails only a few minutes before he committed suicide? Morbid. There's a lot of messages marked priority that breadcrumb their way back to an article. In a stunning and heroic episode, one of our nation's brave soldiers had their life saved by a noble android, and in a way that no other competitor's product could. A brave private was wounded during a military operation whose exact nature and location is currently classified. Shit, I might need tea myself. My throat's really hurting. Bleeding badly, and far from the nearest triage system, he was carried to safety by his fellow freedom fighter, an Animate 16 Enforcer, one of the few warm androids being currently tested out by the armed forces. But the android didn't sit there and wait for evac. It opened up its own arteries and pumped life-saving UD universal donor synthetic plasma into the young man's veins, stabilizing him long enough for him to reach a military hospital. I have no doubt that he'd be dead if there was any other android fighting alongside him, said one commanding officer who asked not to be named. I always thought Noble was only good at making ads that look good. Now I know they've got something inside them that no one else can compete with. The story brings a well-deserved shot in the arm to Noble's stock prices and market share. With this one heroic moment, Noble's warm androids have proven themselves to be worth their price tag, and then some, and people in the capital are paying attention. You can tell somebody in Noble's marketing department wrote this article. It's certainly an interesting idea, Senator Mathing said when asked about committing to a military contract for androids to provide with armed forces with warm models. The story's got people talking. If we had just ignored our constituents' feelings on this matter, we'd been neglecting our duty as politicians, and I know none of my peers would ever try to put a price on the life of one of our soldiers. While additional details on the incident have remained closely guarded, the net is already ablaze with talk of, "Oh damn, you're not logged into this device. Why don't you pop your usual details down below and enable crumbs so you can get the user experience you deserve?" This is the article that I've seen going around. But why would Noble have it marked as priority? Starling said they weren't in any rush to pat each other on the back over it, even though they'd won themselves a real prize, a military contract. They now have the excuses they need to pressure the military into a contract for warm androids. Can't dismiss the expensive upgrade as unnecessary, now that it's saved a soldier's life. This time next year, there will be pink oxidizing fluid being spilt all over the globe. Seems like that's everything critical on this side of the room, which leaves the kitchen. And give me a sec, I'm gonna need to make myself tea and get myself a tissue. This cold is kicking my ass.
Alright.
You said there's camera footage of the dining room showing David and his guest. What about in here? Only camera in the kitchen is the one mounted on the call terminal. The console took a snap-in image when the witness ran into contact emergency services. May I see it? Not unless you scrape the witness's face off the pic first. Don't tempt me. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I need something for my throat. Lexi's not the only one feeling like crap right now. Messy workspaces, but a pristine kitchen. David was a good cook, but only for others. Unless he had a guess, he'd happily eat instant ramen and protein bars for all three meals, or two, or one. Ha! Avis was literally saying earlier that he is an instant noodle and that he's a cup noodle guy. No signs of food threat to be found. not so much as a cheese board. So whoever this guest was, they must have shown up unannounced. 3 unwashed dishes and a single glass. Reyes, these dishes haven't been scanned for prints yet. And I just assumed you might want to do your job. Yeah, there are prints. Most match the victim. But there's also... Hey! Don't sneak up on me like that! All I did was walk over to you. You knocked over the salt, Adonai. I was focused on the task at hand. Didn't realize tunnel vision was a selling point on your mod. Adonai, the salt! As I was saying, the witnesses' prints are on that glass. That glass in the sink? They were drinking from cups in the parlor. Did you see a glass on camera? No. So when did they touch this glass? You need to toss it over your shoulder. Witness must have thought about giving the guy some water, but he would have just choked on it if they tried. What, you think this glass was the murder weapon? It's bad luck, Adonai. Whacked him on the back of the head so fast it went between video frames. That's genius. You should go through the footage frame by frame to prove your theory. Nah, bite me, bitch. Mature.
You want her to do what?
It's bad luck. What have you been going on about? The salt? Shouldn't a machine be above petty superstition? It's not a superstition. It's an ancient wisdom. Give me one logical reason to care, then. If too much salt spills onto your food, it'll make you gag. Maybe it's on me for setting the bar too low there.
Meh.
David's fridge. Normally I wouldn't go poking around in the pantry at a crime scene, but this was a poisoning. Some white wine's chilling in the drawer, some real cheap liquor stuffed in the icebox. Old habits. Reyes, you say he left the parlor and came back with that whiskey from the basement? That's what the cams show, yeah. There's plenty to drink right here, and unlike the cabinet downstairs, it's actually cold. He must have wanted Rose River in particular. Okay, give me a sec. I have to set my tea to steep. Sorry, I'll be right back in just a sec. I'm stirring. Gonna let this steep for a bit. Alright. Yeah. My throat really is fucking killing me. Alright. I'm back. What's that look for? You hungry? I am an android. I do not get hungry. Are you being sarcastic? Only mostly. I thought you said you required organic nourishment. I do ingest organic substances, but that does not mean that I experience hunger as you do. So when you don't ingest organic substances for a long time, I become tired. What a great feature. And when I'm done digesting, I don't need to know.
Was that an android poop joke?
I think it might have been. This is where the emergency call was made. What time did the call go out? Did you wanna... I feel like you guys aren't doing enough. Like, it's just been me doing all the voices since Avis left.
Well, would you like one of us to?
It's up to you. Do you want to? I'm gonna keep doing Morgan and Sarah, but if somebody wants to do, like, any cops or witnesses or stuff...
Sure. Yo, Kosetsu, you good, or do you want to take one?
Kosetsu? They might be AFK.
They might be. I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah. 8:04 p.m. Before you ask, the witness left the parlor at 8:03. Not enough time for them to alter the scene.
I wasn't going to ask that. When did the medics arrive?
8:08, remember?
Hell of a response time for a penthouse. Private EMS came by air?
Yeah, they landed on the VTOL pad outside. Took him to Gatesfield like I told you. The very best if you can afford it. Looking around here, seems like he could afford a lot.
He got his insurance through his employer, just like most people.
Caduceus Executive Plan 4 isn't like most people, Counselor.
He had executive level. Not like most people at all. You've now had the chance to survey the crime scene. Yeah. So do you think you know what happened? Detective, is his body still at the hospital morgue?
Yeah, he's at Gatesfield. Along with 100 noble megs who've all called dibs. Gross.
Then I'll just have to cut in line. Sarah, get me a ride to Gatesfield Memorial. What, you can do that, can't you? I can. But I need your payment information to get started.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a question, like, she's getting a message.
Yeah. Okay. Understood. On my way down.
Got it. Sync complete. Set pickup for 10 minutes. Should be plenty. The crowd down there does seem to have gotten quite large. 10 minutes to reach the pickup spot may not be... Maybe 10 minutes to reach the pickup spot may be an ambitious target, Adonai. How bad can it be? Pretty fucking bad.
Never ask that. Never ask that.
As I approach the lobby's exit, the building's soundproofing begins to fail. The crowd has gotten bigger, but there's something else happening out there. The energy's not panicked yet, but it's creeping up on the tipping point. Are this many people pissed at androids for selling... Are this many people pissed at Noble for selling androids? The hell's got them all so excited? Adonai, what does that symbol mean? In this rabble, probably something vulgar. Which one? That heart with a bullet hole.
Oh,
I don't know. It's probably nothing.
Heartbreak has a cult following now.
Based on net associations, it appears to be a symbol for the Heartbreak Killer. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why would that freak have a symbol, or a following, or these whatever these people are? And why the hell would they be outside David Asher's apartment? Because Noble's
trying to.
you go for it. Go for it. It's a guy.
Because Noble's trying to cover up the truth.
They are?
Those Megs in there are scrambling to shred every document they can. We need to stick together, form our perimeter, and try to catch them when they go to dump the scraps.
Sarah, what are you hoping to find?
Proof that Asher was killed for trying to blow the whistle.
Oh no, the consequences of my actions. Blow the whistle on Heartbreak?
Noble doesn't want the world to know that the A-16 is sentient and homicidal.
You think that Heartbreak is an android?
You think whoever did all that was human?
Humans have done worse things.
Noble's advanced prototype went amok and started killing.
Started killing random people?
Don't be a lamb, it only looks random. There's a clear pattern, as long as you're smart enough to see past the bullshit.
Oh, okay. And how does one see past the bullshit? Stop engaging.
Smart kid, she gets it. She's asking the right questions. What the hell are you talking about? No way those victims weren't related. It's gotta be deniable ops. They must all have been in the DO together before getting their records bleached. Then, as soon as they've outlived their usefulness... What are you, nuts?
There is a lot of search terms we're getting for this. Deniable is oh, no such designation exists. Of course the phone would say this.
Of course it would.
Executive plan, salt shaker. The salt is evidence.
Maybe the salt was what was poisoned. Everyone knows the first 6 HK got to were the 6 prototypes that came before him.
They're always
What?
assuming that HK is a him.
Warm android's so perfect no one could tell the diff. A bullet to the heart's the only way he could kill those other over-engineered freaks.
Everyone's got a goddamn opinion. I see. Stop seeing. Start moving. These people are insane.
Why don't you eat some more corn slop, asshole? You ever think you can be cyberpunk without ever thinking for yourself? Oh god, they're trying to be Johnny Silverhand.
As for, I did hear your thing. I was walking by my room at the time. Yes, but there's also not that many characters that are currently involved that I can voice.
Hmm?
So there's not that many characters I can voice
Yeah, do you
already-
want to be voices in the crowd then?
Is there a crowd?
There is a crowd right now.
That's wild.
You want to jump in on this one?
Not at the moment. I want to see how things go real quick.
You think it's a coincidence victim number 6 was working on Harco crops? They're putting something in the food.
Those people. Heartbreak. This is... goddamn embarrassment. The hell am I paying taxes for if the state can't shut this shit down? What about you, Adonai? What do you think about this Heartbreak figure? They're just a murderer. Should be caught and sentenced, like any other murderer. But they must have some reason for doing such terrible things. Aren't you curious? Why? Why? Are some reasons for committing murder better than others? They might have experienced trauma or abuse. They might have... Millions of people experience trauma and abuse every day. Millions. And yet there's only one heartbreak. So you think that they were just born that way? That's my guess. That's unsatisfying? Sad. I don't see why it would be. If Heartbreak was born like that, then they never had a chance to be anything else. If Heartbreak was born like that, then none of us normal people have to ever worry about turning out like them. That kind of predestination, it means they never have to take responsibility for what they are. The state can make them take responsibility as soon as they catch them. You make it sound so trivial. They're a very dangerous serial killer. Just a serial killer. Just? If HK shot someone every day, it would take them 1,132 years and about 11 months in order to have killed 413,789 people. You did that in your head? I'm good at mental math. You counted the leap years. But what is the significance of that number? Deaths within 18 months of the Blakeford industrial disaster. Times that number by 2 for the injuries. Tack on another 183% for the birth defects. 413,000 dead, and there wasn't anything evil about it. Just human error, some shoddy welding, and time. So you think that Heartbreak is nothing by comparison? Perhaps that is the problem then. If they're nothing, if they represent nothing, then they can stand for whatever the crowd wants them to.
Please make way. Officials are coming through. Oh, wait, what?
This one I can definitely do.
Alright, go ahead.
Officials are coming through. Please disperse.
Keep walking, pigs.
Fascists!
Oh, that was you, my bad. But yeah, you did better than I did. There we go. Noble owns the cops. Only the cops they build in their factories.
Very funny. Why are we tolerating this shit?
You want me to wade into the crowd with a nightstick? Prove them wrong?
You know what I mean. We're the only people in this city trying to do some goddamn good, and they all just... that That's just part of our job, Detective. No offense, ma'am, but wearing a police badge earns you a little more hate than... Do they give prosecutors badges? I have an ID for the parking garage. Does that count?
Depends. You ever hesitate to wear it in the open?
This moral relativism of yours seems like a strange philosophy for someone in your profession, Adonai. Breaking out the thesaurus on me? I'm only being realistic and humble. I'm just one woman, Sarah. Whatever I do, right or wrong, it's less than a % rounding error in the grand scheme of things. Do you tell that to your clients? No, but they come to appreciate it when I win. I don't mean cops in particular. The same deal applies to anyone who works for the state. The terms are stark, but the ink dried a long time ago, and we all agreed to them.
I don't recall voting for it.
Well, not voting is how these things came to pass. So, we traded freedom for safety, individual rights for collective power. No, freedom and safety are not in opposition to each other. Anyone with a marginalized identity, like a queer person, can tell you that.
I believe she means in this reality that they're in.
Anybody who thinks that freedom and safety are in conflict with one another have never been in the closet.
Would,
This is
mention the
me.
founding.
This is Neri getting on her soapbox right now.
I'm being stabbed by an invisible person. Help me.
Oh. Oh dear, someone has stabbed Kosetsu. Oh, what a tragedy.
Indeed,
Adonai.
tragedy.
Adonai,
I just
I detect sarcasm. Do you not actually care that Kosetsu is being murdered? Oh, of course I care. I'm just not being paid to represent his murderer.
murderer's not there. The murderer was a fucking invisible AI.
The murderer was fucking Morgan. You didn't know that, Kosetsu? That Morgan, that thing with the Heartbreak Killer, why Morgan is getting so pissy over it is because she is the Heartbreak Killer.
She is the android, guaranteed launch.
I'm starting to believe that myself, actually.
Ooh. I'm still alive, but I have no clue why I am. But I'm holding out. Air grenade.
Oh my god. The Blake Fort disaster has limited web traffic. The state won, the citizens lost. Very least we can do is take their criticisms head on. Look, I don't have a problem with the responsibilities of authority.
Only with authority being challenged.
But they treat us like we're the bad guys. Well, sometimes we are. Sometimes the law is wrong. So if any given individual is too small to ever affect change, so if the public's gonna hate us no matter what we do, and if corporations and governments will trample over people the same, regardless of their character, and if we can't even be sure we're doing the right thing, what do you do, Adonai? What the hell do we do? I think it's pretty simple. It's not as complicated as you think. I wish Avis was here for this to voice Emma. In times like these, in a world like this, the only logical way to live is, the only moral way to act is, do whatever it takes to win.
Lesbians.
What?
Yep. I'ma save. If I'm insignificant in the grand scheme of things, I can do my worst and no one will notice.
Ah, shut up, you little weirdos. You know who that is.
If power is inherently evil, holding back won't save your soul. Just fight with both barrels, and trust the opposition to do the same. Winner takes all.
The moment.
Gatesfield Memorial. Two different sides coming to the same conviction. Ah, thank you.
Conviction or
You're a lifesaver. And the next time that Bridezilla texts you, just turn your phone off. Chatty guy. Must have been due to go on break. When he tried and failed to find the witness's medical record, his datapad had the name blacked out. But I did see that they have Caduceus Executive 3. More expensive than David's, which means they're most likely. How did you do that? You need to hold the button to get the doors to close. You need to hold the button to get the doors to close faster. Mashing does nothing. That is not what I meant. There were many others who arrived before us. How did you get down here so quickly? Another cutie incoming? Well, I didn't do anything. It was that nurse who escorted us. Yes, but you managed to get a stranger like him to help you, with so few words, so little information. I don't think you even gave him your name. Haven't you heard of the Golden Rule? Of course I have. Treat others how you would want to be treated. Wrong. Treat others how they would want to be treated. He wanted someone that he could vent to. He wanted someone to pay attention to him, and he wanted to feel appreciated. Which meant he'd be eager to help, given the chance. Even just reading someone's mood is quite difficult. How can you know how another person wants to be treated? There are no mind readers. No one can ever know anything about what anyone's thinking. Maybe not even themselves. Doesn't matter if they're your parent, your twin, your lover. It'll always be a gamble. Who the hell is kicking dogs in the background?
That's the sound he makes when people come home.
Oh.
I have two dogs. One of them does that, and the other one's a bit of a barker.
That is not a very comforting sentiment. Well, I think it's fun. Only because you're good at it. How did you get good at it? Same as anything. Observation and practice. You must have been observing and practicing for a long time then. A very long time. So we proceed down the hall. Bear left. Look for the fourth door. I'm gonna open the one that says Morg on it. Oh Oh, shit!
Well, hello there.
Okay, then. Chat, is she single? Okay.
Well, now that Neri's neurons are popcorn.
Yeah. Oh, she is single. Oh, hey. Come on in. Don't stand out there in the... cold wouldn't be accurate. Sorry about the chill in here, but I run a little hot. And you can see my roommates never complain. Yumi Sato, medical examiner. Dr. Sato, just the lady I wanted to see. Though I didn't expect that I'd get to. The fact that they've assigned a medical examiner and not some ad or junior means... Hey, Thea! Oh, you can call me Yumi. And you're... Morgan. I represent the deceased. Up. Hey, Thea.
Hello.
Yeah.
The deceased? Oh. The deceased. Asher D. Wait, really? That's weird. I thought this time slot was scheduled for a group of noble PR people who... I know. Weird, right? Well, what the hell? Well, what the hell do I know? Was getting tired of hosting Megs anyway. I gotta finish typing up this report before we talk shop. But in the meantime, feel free to make yourself at home. Alright, time to poke around her office.
Poke around her what?
Her office.
Just keeping you sharp. 'Cause I heard your thoughts.
But you wanted me to poke around something else. Yeah. Oh, is Yumi Sato making you thirsty, Miles? That's a lot of screens. There's got to be diminishing returns on productivity. Why do you have so many monitors, ma'am? You can't just ask someone that. Good question. Every quarter when they do inventory and budgeting, they ask me if I need anything, and I never do, so I submit a blank form. But I guess a while back there was a +1 in a spreadsheet somewhere, and no one's ever corrected it, and so, boom, I get 4 new monitors every year. Do you run out of things to use them for? Sometimes, but this year I've started running 2 dramas at once when I'm doing rote work, which helps. Watching 2 television shows at the same time helps you do rote work. Helps me use up the screens. I see. What's this? The hospital is getting renamed. No, guess it's some other hospital that got snapped up.
That kinda reeks of subterfuge.
In a ribbon-cutting ceremony held uptown today, Plotter Memorial Hospital was formally renamed the Northeastern Ikaria Medical Complex, in recognition of the family's incredibly generous donations over the last several years. It's the latest in a string of philanthropic efforts by the family to result in a name change after they paid for the renovations to the orchestra hall and the retrofitting of what used to be known as the Scout Arena. But it wasn't so long ago that the Ikaria were better known for drawing blood than donating it. Back in the 50s, they had a fearsome reputation for cutthroat business practices that had their business rivals going so far as to accuse them of involvement with organized crime. After the founding of Rene Gen Medical over 25 years ago and its subsequent sale, the Ikaria have moved out of the business world and into the upper echelons of society, that are sometimes mockingly referred to as the Neobility, a generation of newly minted aristocrats born from the unique and chaotic economic economics of the mid-21st century and the Red Decade. When asked her opinion on those who'd label her family House Icaria at the hospital's renaming ceremony, Renee Gen board member Mireille Icaria had this to say: "In this country, anyone can make a name for themselves so long as they're willing to put in the work. Mock new money all you want, but the truth is that success is all about reinventing yourself, and the only ones who uncomfortable with that are..." Oh, yeah, and then it's asking me for my payment info. The Icaria, guess they weren't always in the same line of work. Now they're plastering their name wherever they get to get themselves a
New image, I would guess.
All the neobility are eager to prop up their image wherever they can. But that must go double for the Icarias, assuming the truth about their criminal past is anywhere close to the rumors. Are all these dead bodies? One would hope so. I only meant that I'm surprised to see them stored here. It suggests a backlog, which suggests a higher murder rate than the public data would lead one to expect. Do you only examine bodies for the police doctor? Oh, I wish. Nah. Most of my job involves confirming cause of death on natural deaths for insurance adjustments. Insurers want to blame the mod for failing. Mod makers want to blame the stiff for not exercising enough. Family says the company insurance plan would pay for mods, but not a gym membership. Yeah, the whole wall there is suspected defective liver mods, suspected leaking internal bio batteries, suspected CCIC, climate change-induced complications. You can prove that climate change contributed to an otherwise natural death. Very, very rarely. If it can be proved, then what does that mean for the family of the deceased? Plus or minus 14% on the life insurance payout. I mean, it's most of what I do. And I don't dislike my job, it's just... so much of what I do just boils down to telling a bunch of cheapskates how to split the dead man's bill. I gotta get my needy. It's enough to make homicide feel like a breath of fresh air. What's up? She finishing up over there? Right, okay. So what's up? Thanks for your time, Dr. Sato. My first question would be... what was the cause of death? Oh, wow. Hi there. Cute android. I didn't even realize it was... really cute. The skin is... that's remarkable. Even just looking close, you can tell they really are warm.
What do you mean by that?
Still not quite human body temperature, but they've come a long way. The early gens all look flushed. Felt like they were always running a fever, and they ran like it, too. Even 2 years ago, the average warm android only lasted... Sorry, but the circumstances surrounding this particular case call for expediency. Right. So what can I tell you?
You can tell me what you meant by all that.
Oh, I mean I wanted to fuck the robot. I beg your pardon? Were you able to determine the cause of death? Well, cause of death, sure. We gotten that much figured out at least. Why doesn't that sound particularly reassuring? Dr. Asher died of respiratory failure. Not enough oxygen in the blood. Not enough blood going to the brain. Hey, Lilith! How you doing? Nary jockey. Wait, am I being ridden by someone? What the fuck?
You're now a chicken jockey, Neri. Accept your fate.
No, I don't want to be a chicken jockey.
Widespread depression of the central nervous system.
Root cause being widespread depression of the central nervous system. What would the symptoms be? What would it have looked like? I'm being mounted by Sato? Oh, I mean, I'd let Sato top me. You're being cooked alive in your room
Somebody
right now?
clip that.
Clip it yourself. My god. So bossy. Only I can tell people to clip things. Actually, no, I can't even do that. They just clip what they want to clip.
Exactly. I'm also just here. I guarantee there's nothing I've said that can be clipped.
Lightheadedness, followed by dizziness. Then headaches, slurred speech, exhaustion, loss of consciousness, and finally respiratory arrest. Report shows that the EMTs tried intubation, then resuscitation through electrical stimulation, repeatedly. By the time he got to the emergency room, they were desperate enough to attempt direct artificial blood oxygenation, but it was too late. And you're certain of all this? And you're certain of all this? Oh, well, most of it, sweetie. Most of it? But who'd we just lose? Thea?
Gosetsu, I think.
No, Thea.
Yeah, Thea. You're right.
Yeah, it's turned into quite the puzzle, and I'm used to having more pieces to start with. I was surprised a man as rich and famous as him didn't have any kind of biomes, but his files show he wasn't a viable candidate for modding. Yeah, that's right. Without that kind of first-hand tech, we don't have nearly as much data as we'd like. But he was extensively monitored from the moment the EMTs arrived. We're very certain about our conclusion. Did you find anything else unusual about his body in your examination? Cuts or bruises? No injection sites? Nothing in any cavities? Nothing at all. The police mentioned a tox screen. Yeah, that's the thing. They ran a tox screen when he first arrived. Typical diagnostic intake procedure. Based on the emergency call, they figured he must have overdosed on something, but the tox screen gave them nothing. After he died, we performed the broadest screenings possible. Nothing. So were you forced to conclude this was a natural death? I didn't give up that easy. I took blood samples and compared their makeup with what was on his record in his previous medical history. And I managed to isolate a single, non-naturally occurring chemical compound that wasn't there before. What was it? Some exotic toxin from a different hemisphere? I wish. I ran it through every available database we have access to, and even a few I only sort of have access to through some friends. Not only does it not match any known poison, it doesn't match the chemical makeup of any registered compound.
So, something entirely new.
So, a designer drug, huh? That seems to be the best explanation. What the hell did you do, David? You said it didn't match any registered compound. What about compounds that aren't registered? Those friends of yours, private sector folks? Yeah, in pharmaceuticals. If one of them patented a new compound, a new drug, what would keep its formula from going on the record? In the private sector, intellectual piracy is the norm, so you're expected to protect your research aggressively. Patent first, find a use later? Yeah, a patent would have to at least describe your compound in brief, but depending on what country you file in, I've heard it may be considered prudent to keep the actual chemical makeup off the record. Smart. Using international IP law as your own personal minefield. How so? Whenever you're ahead, patent as much as you can, as fast as you can, but bury the formula so no one knows where it's safe to walk. Anybody small and ambitious comes along, finds a new drug they're excited about, you flip up your card, let them know you came up with the idea years ago, and that you'll give them death by 1,000 court dates if they so much as blink. Wouldn't work on anyone your size or bigger. They could punch back, but for the rest of the field... Wow, you corporate lawyers are scary. I'm not a corporate lawyer. So you came up with that strategy just now? So it's possible that this poison is actually a known substance, something that the hospital could have easily identified, if it wasn't considered a trade secret. Yes, unfortunately, that is a possibility. Still, just because a drug is new, that doesn't mean it's original. Does the effect that this compound had remind you of any other drug? Maybe one that's prescription only, or a controlled substance? One you might know by another name, but with a patented structure? Sorry, sweetheart, it's a general depressant. There are a lot of drugs that have that effect on the body, and they come in all shapes and sizes from all kinds of places. If the effect was unremarkable, what about its strength? Could you estimate how much of this stuff he had in his body, all told? Not precisely, no. Not without detailed knowledge on its half-life, but I guessed that it must have been about 20 milligrams. Is 20 milligrams a lot? Not from medicine. So this wasn't just an overdose of something relatively harmless, then. No, not if 20 mil was enough to crash his entire nervous system. Thank you, Yumi. Of course. So, you ready to view the body? We could skip it if you want. I know most people get squeamish around corpses. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. Says Heartbreak Killer. Okay then, let's get started. Alright, I'll just step out for a moment to give you some privacy. Yes, please. Thank you. The last time we talked was on a Sunday. You were complaining. I remember that. It's the principle of the matter. Right. You had ordered this cheap piece of shit sculpture or something by mistake, and it came damaged and you wanted to send it back for a refund. I gently reminded you how, with your salary, it was literally not worth your time. And I kindly offered to throw it out for you, since you're having so much trouble letting go. You're only offering because you want to see how loud it sounds shattering at the bottom of my trash can. I denied it, even though you were right, and it was obvious. I should have let you have that one. I thought he would look different. But he looks exactly the same as I remember. His skin is pale, and he's very still, but his face is the same. His hair, his hands. You were expecting something more drastic. The last time I saw him, he was alive. He smiled and he told me he would see me soon. Now he's dead. Something is gone. And I can't find the difference. I'm trying to look harder. But I think I might just not be capable of it. And I wonder why. Why was I created to not be capable? Could be an issue of skill. Or maybe it's not something that can be seen, no matter how hard you look. But it's there. I guarantee it. I've seen the transition enough times to be sure that between life and death, the distinction has significance. To the dead, at the very least. You're going to smoke? Here? Now? I'll pay the fine. That's not the issue. Were you expecting me to fall to pieces? Real boys grieve in all kinds of ways, Pinocchio. And some don't grieve at all, it seems. I'm a cold woman. Sorry to disappoint. The hell? Why the hell won't this thing light? Adonai, you have your cigarette backwards. What's up, babe? Oh, you want me to feed the kitties? Alright. I'm probably gonna... I'm probably gonna end in a couple minutes to feed the cats.
Alright.
Also another tea if you're able. Alright.
Yeah.
That's back into cold... I'm sorry, guys. You didn't really get to voice many characters.
It's cool.
It's a vibe.
I had to get a haircut.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been off and on in here, so it's...
That's
good
what I
time.
was doing while I was gone.
Alright, that's back into cold storage for him. So, need anything else? Can you send me the chemical makeup of that compound you isolated? Sure, for what it's worth.
Okay.
Let me just... It's got carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen with hexagonal structures. I'm trying to do it every Wednesday, Minos with Prime.
Back here.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it every Wednesday. At I'm aiming for 2 p.m. every Wednesday. It's got... So it's organic, but there's a number of metallic elements too. And if you had to speculate on its intended use, based on what we know of its structure, well, it's certainly acted like a depressant, binding to receptor pathways and affecting the balance of neurotransmitter reuptake. Depressants are pretty rare in the designer drug scene. True. People are always looking for a higher high or a crazier trip, but a more powerful depressant will just make you fall asleep. Not much need to hit up the gray market for that kind of experience. No, there's not. I see. Thanks again. You've been extremely helpful during a very difficult time. Hey, anything you need, give me a ring. That's very Rockford's orders have gotten me on call, so I'm already getting overtime for the whole weekend. Nah, glad to hear it. Goodbye, Yumi. And goodbye to you too, Greenie. My name is Sarah. Nice to meet you, Sarah.
Okay, what is it with Japan and liking goth doctors? Not that I'm complaining.
CIS.
What?
CIS. I'm the character from CIS.
Oh! The one with the pigtails that like to drink energy drinks. I understand.
Mm-hmm. So, do you think we should... I think, we should, call it here for the day?
Yeah. You have subjects to appease before they stage a revolution in your home.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna look for somebody. Well, I'm gonna save the game.
Yeah, don't forget to do that.
And I'm going to look for somebody to send you all to. Let's see here. Who's live right now?
Minty's live.
Oh yeah, Minty. Why don't we why don't we go hit up Minty? All right, everybody. I want you to all be good to yourselves, be good to each other, be good to Minty. If you're gonna commit a murder, make sure you get away with it. In Minecraft.
Or should we say Roblox?
And, as always, be gay, do crime, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!
Peace!